What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Corner Podcast on Patreon. Kel Dansby here, old man Andreas Hell. I'm recording from my hotel room in LA, out here doing some work. Dre just got back from LA, putting in work and, celebrating with the boys. Our Heroes Rock nominated NAACP Award. You had a blast. If you guys haven't checked out our other episode, hurry up. What the hell are you guys waiting for? It is out now. We're talking boxing, but it starts off. The old man explains the trip, everything that went down there. It was so much fun. He says, make sure you guys listen to that to get the full experience of Our Heroes Rock at the NAACP Awards. And if you want more than that, he lets it leak. Big E's middle name. One hell of a story. Please do not walk around calling Big E by his middle name, but it is hilarious. Make sure you guys check out that episode if you haven't already. But I know you guys come here for this Patreon content. So this week it's a little different. With Dre coming back, there's not too much craziness in the hip hop world. Even though I know on the other episode, Dre, you did let it slip. You've been listening to Schoolboy Q's album. What is your favorite track there? You and E having 4 in the morning debates on this.
It's still Time Killers. Time Killers is still my favorite song off the album. Either that or Thank God for Me or Smile's incredible, but Time Killers is my shit. It's
Man, just listed three different tracks.
I know, but Time Killers remains my favorite song. It's because I said it on Twitter. I've never heard Q rap this clear before. Like he's so focused and he's rapping on this album. Like he ain't just saying shit. Like he's different styles, different cadences, different patterns. Like Yearn is a different pattern, Smile's a different pattern, Cooties is a different pattern. The one thing about the album that I really like is taking a quote from, some people on social media. This is a scare the hoes album. This album is out here to scare the hoes. This is not an album that you play with your girl in the car. Like Yearn by itself is not a song you play around a bunch of women. And if they get up to it, you start going, "Oh shit, like you so dope. Like what's going on?" Like and it's so unapologetically scared of hoes. Q don't quite care. He ain't trying to make a studio with BJ the Chicago Kid. Like he's just trying to make shit that he likes
Yeah.
and he vibes out to. And I think this album is it's his best work since Oxymoron. It's his best work since then, for sure.
Probably. Yeah, it's definitely different. And it takes TDE so long to release these projects that I was shocked um, that they'd release a Schoolboy Q project like this because it's not like he's going to have a commercial one coming down the pipe in 6 months.
No,
So it's just like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. And
they
you
know that.
can't really tour off this. Like,
Well, he can. Like they know there's a demand for Q because he's been gone for so long,
mhm.
and I wouldn't place the blame on TDE. I would more so say that Q was is the one who took his time with this album between like golfing, the pandemic. I think he really took his time crafting this piece of work, and he didn't need to rush out an album,
You telling
right?
me Q is an avid golfer is still one of the best things. Like I gotta hit the course with Q because I've now been playing golf every other weekend. I gotta take you out to the course. That's my
Man,
next.
I ain't getting up that early to golf. I do get up that early, but for me to leave the house in the morning with the kids, I ain't going
But in
there.
the afternoon, sometimes we could go hit a 9 hole.
You see this weather's clearing up in Vegas, right? I ain't
Yeah,
gonna be out there in 100-degree weather playing nothing.
before it hits 100. You want to go? We'll play nine. They
Mm,
got the nine. They got lights. We just go out there nine. You get your game right.
yeah, I'll think about
Oh,
it.
oh
But
yeah, drag you out there. Let's go.
yeah, hope. But Q's focus is very clear on this album. To me, right now, it's the best album of the year. I know a lot of people talk about Benny the Butcher's album, but I think this is the best rap album of the year so far. It's only March. We got a lot of time.
Yeah, Benny still has mine. Um, I thought Benny's was just phenomenal. Like all the way through. It's so far the one I go back to the most. I hear a lot of people really high on that Kanye album. I've listened through twice during my gym sessions. Like I've really been able to digest a lot of music now by going to the gym. And that shit is horrific.
He
It is
man,
he can't rap.
there it is.
He can The Ghost Riders did so much of the heavy lifting. Now it's undisputed.
Yep.
the ghostwriters did so much heavy lifting on those first five albums that now every verse is I got bleach on my t-shirt. Chick just bleached her asshole. Like every verse is just an
Yeah.
extension of that. Like, and I listen, I love Jane Silent Bob. Uh Kevin Smith, my favorite director of all time, personal favorite. Dogma is my shit. And I took Dogma is my shit. My favorite movie ever is Mallrats. So like Kevin Smith, my dude, like Jay and Silent Bob's my dude. Dogma was the shit to me when it came out. I love that sample. What like Kanye did production wise to that sample, and even Ty Dolla Sign singing in the beginning, great. Kanye's verse in the middle is horrible. Like fuck.
It's
And then
bad.
then Jay comes back in. It's like, thank God, we just got back to the sample, and then Rabbit is Rabbit at the end of it, right? Like Freddie Gibbs is a beast. So I love Freddie Gibbs' verse on that shit. But Kanye tries his best to ruin that song in the middle. Every song in the album is like Ty Dolla Sign saying, I'm gonna try to give you classic Ty Dolla Sign shit. Kanye's production, not too bad. Kanye lyrically, how am I gonna fuck up this song? Every single time.
It's it's like there are so many people who love Kanye, and I'm like, how can you not acknowledge the fact that this man can't rap? Like it's so bad. He has no direction. He has no point. It is. I don't even know what he's talking about. It's like a huge waste of space. Like he's trying to actively ruin. He's scoopity pooping everything.
Everything.
It's so bad. So yeah, Vultures. I listened to like 6 songs, and I was like, I can't take it. I
He's
can't.
right now, all he's doing is like BDSM rap. Like
Yeah,
he is a kink rapper. That's all he is. Like every verse is, oh, you mad I got my girl got her titties out. Oh, look at these fat asses. Oh, threesome. Oh, titties, titties, titties. Big titties falling out of the sky. Like he is a kink rapper. He has nothing else in his life. He's just like, what do I do all day? I make money, I make shitty looking clothes, and I have sex. So what can I rap about? Like,
that's it.
guess guess I gotta rap about having sex.
Yep.
Every fucking verse is that. And big ups to you. I don't want to listen to kink rap.
Nah.
Like I don't kink shame, but I don't want to listen to kink rap. It's not like that's the new genre setting thing. Like that shit ain't cool. It's like, all right, bro, I get it. Like your girl has fake titties. Cool. Kudos to you. I'm sure they look great. But now what? Well, I'm gonna motorboat those titties. All right, Kanye. Well, you do that. What's next on your daily agenda? Do you want to tackle any of these worldly issues? Do you want to talk about like
Right.
being a family man? How hard is it to be separated? No, Kim K, titties. My new girl, her titties look like Kim titties. Kanye, that's all you got to say about your ex-wife and your whole fucking family dynamic crushing down? Really? Titties. All right, man. Like
What?
titties it is.
I guess the question is, what do people enjoy about this version of Kanye?
It's a
Is
very good question.
because
The
like
the production's not
it's
bad.
okay. Yeah.
It's not prime Kanye. It's not. It's nowhere near as good as prime Kanye production, but it's not horrible. Like it's okay. If
It's
he was a
yeah.
nobody, he wouldn't get a record deal with this production or a placement deal with this production.
Yeah. I don't know. Um.
He's just not as good as what he was. I don't know if someone says I'm a Kanye fan and you listen to those first five albums and then you put on any album after it, you'd be like, is this even the same fucking person?
Dog. He's not. But
He's Mike Tyson.
it's
People think he
yeah.
could beat Jake Paul, and they're remembering 1989 Mike Tyson, and they're remembering 90s fresh out of prison Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Since the ear bite, the second half of an entire career, second half of his life, he's now 56, from the age of 27, 28 on, 28 years, half of his life, he has not been that Mike Tyson. But yet he's stepping in the ring. And he could knock this guy out. Why? Because what he did when he was 18, a whole half of his life, he hasn't been good. Kanye, now, half of his professional catalog is mid to
Yeah.
drizzling shits.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we're holding out hope that Kanye becomes the old Kanye, and that Kanye is long gone. But yeah, I see people talking about vultures, and I saw it, and I hit play, and I heard a few songs, and I was like, this isn't for me,
Like,
and I
oh,
turned it
okay.
off, and I was done with it. Kanye to me is still insufferable, so that's not in my running for the album of the year. Again, it's March, it's very early.
Rhapsody
Uh,
is about to drop an album.
yeah, my sister's about to drop an album. I gotta, been
The
trying to figure out how
singles,
to get
though,
to her.
it's like, how do we pick these singles? It's killing
Well,
me. I look
I
at the
know
track listing.
I know what she's doing. I mean, she's my friend. I know what she's doing. I know the theme of this album. I know what this album is about. Like
Yeah.
I've known it for the past like 2 years. Um, Stand Tall was dropped for a reason. Asteroids was dropped to give some buzz because she did a song with Hit Boy. But she's got a purpose with this album. It's gonna be very different with anything we've heard from Rhapsody before. That's about all I can say about that. But it's early, so we'll see what everybody else has to offer. But I want to pivot to some R&B because your man Justin Timberlake just dropped an album.
JT, I've had it in rotation, baby. We, all right, this is the opposite of the Rhapsody thing I just said.
Yeah.
So, rap, when I looked at the track listing, because you can see that it's out, I was like, she has a Lil Wayne feature on a song called Raw. Probably a fucking banger.
Mm-hmm.
That could and probably should be the first single off of this album. How
I don't
you
know if that's
land
she's doing it.
how you land a Wayne feature and don't put this out ahead of it, I'll never know. Whatever. Cool. So that's the decision. When I listen to the album, whatever, I'm going to like it. But it's just one of those things where that should be a single. Now JT came through on his album. He's like, yo, these are my 4 singles. I'm going to list them tracks like 1 through 4, or they're 2 through 5 or something. All right, cool. I don't like any of those. Like fucking up the disco, not for me. No angels, not for me. Play, not for me. It's like fuck. Like so, starting to listen to this album. I'm like, gave me some mid ass album. Like I'm tight. Like I'm upset. Then Technicolor comes on. I'm like, okay, it's like a little future sex love sounds, JT type shit. And then Drown comes on, which is my favorite song now. And I was like, oh, that's when him and Timbo. So like, this original JT and Timbo. That's a Timbo in his bag beat. Body that shit. And then from there on, oh, rocking with that. Liar, it's the Afro Beach joint with Fireboy. Fireboy kills that shit. JT does his thing. It's a good Afro Beats track. Infinity Sex is like love, future love sex. So that was like, yo, that's dope. Sanctified with Toby, good song. My favorite drug, Flame, is fire. So you keep going down. What lovers do, Selfish, all good songs. Paradise with Nsync, dope song. Like I really liked what this album was. Not a ton of features. JT getting back to what JT is, and I'm like looking at the landscape outside of Beyonce releasing a country album, which I don't know how that's going to be received in terms of like Grammy consideration. JT probably going to fucking end up winning a Grammy off of this album because it's good enough. And I really enjoy it, but it checks all the boxes of what people would be looking for from Justin Timberlake. And there's like, if it just trimmed it 5 or 6 songs, because 18 songs are a fucking lot. But if this would have been 12, oh, we would have been right back in it. 12, 13, right back in it. So I really like what JT came through with this. This is way better than the fucking I'm a mountain man shit that he tried to release last time.
So I'm conflicted about this album. Like Technicolor is amazing. Justin Timberlake is good for putting together a 7-minute song with Timberland, right? That switches up midstream.
Yeah.
The rest of the album is good. I'm gonna listen to it a few more times. My confliction with Justin Timberlake is this. Sometimes I feel like he's cosplaying as an R&B singer. Sometimes I feel like he's riding waves rather than creating them. Like I feel like that last bullshit ass album was a perfect example of him trying to do something that he wasn't capable of doing.
Hmm.
And this album, I'm not as high on it as you are. Like I I agree with the first four songs, not good.
Hmm.
Right.
Why
And
do
it
you
feels
lead with
like
that? Like I could have turned off the album. I would have never known the shit was good. Why do you put your four stinkers in the front?
I don't know, but I feel like the Afrobeat song feels like, hey, let's try some Afrobeat stuff. It feels like, remember the rapper Snow in that song Informer?
Of course, everyone knows Inform.
It it felt like, are you really this? Or are you just trying to make some money off of a wave, right? Because at the time you had like reggae was dominating the airwaves.
To be
Murder She
fair,
Wrote was out there.
I think Snow is a legit reggae artist. He continued to make reggae music after this. I think he was like a real thing.
Uh, that like to me,
Just
he's as much
just
of the
letting you
real thing
know.
as like Justin Timberlake loves R&B music, right?
Yeah,
But they get a boost because of what they look like, right?
sure.
It's like it's the Elvis factor,
Yeah,
and nobody's and that's always been my problem with Justin Timberlake is like he drank his own Kool Aid at some point, bailed on Janet Jackson, had beef with Prince. I, who the fuck beefs with Prince? Justin Timberlake thought he was big enough to beef with Prince.
to be
In
fair,
his head,
Prince beefed with everybody. Nobody beefed with Prince.
like,
Just got to eat that.
well, Timberlake said some slick shit about Prince in an award show,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Usually you just shut up and be like, "Oh, that's Prince." Like he
yeah,
said whatever he wants.
then I feel like Timberlake thinks he's Usher, but he's not Usher. He's not as talented. He's not as good as a singer. He's not as talented. Not even
It's
close.
no, it's no. He can't dance like Usher.
He can't sing like Usher.
He
Not
can't
even
sing
close.
like Usher.
He's not even
No,
close. He's
no.
good. Like this, not
Yeah,
saying he's bad.
no.
Usher's like the consummate.
The catalog is really good, but talent wise,
Yeah, it's Timberlake's had a huge boost from Timberland.
yeah,
Huge,
huge.
huge boost from Timberland. That just speaks to how great Timberland is as a producer.
And the
Again,
Neptunes when he's not with Timberlake.
yeah, not saying Justin Timberlake is a bad artist,
Oh,
but he's got a huge boost that propels him to levels that I don't know if he's necessarily there. So like Technicolor is the perfect example of like when he's in his bag, when both of them in their bag together, they make really good music.
yeah,
Like Future Sex Love Sound is a really good album. But then sometimes I listen to some of these songs and I'm just like, just trying shit.
yeah,
Like you're just trying shit. So I like it. I don't hate Timberlake like a lot of other people do. Like some people just won't listen to Justin Timberlake music. I don't love him like everybody else does. It was good to see this album come out. Like when I heard Selfish, I was like, this is all right. But Drown, Technicolor, there's like 6 songs. I'm like, all right, these are good
yeah,
songs. I don't know if he'll be in the Grammy conversation at the end of the year because again, Usher will be around, Beyonce will be around, but he'll probably be nominated for Grammy for Country Album of the Year.
yeah.
And there's gonna be some other artists that surface like soon.
Yeah, I
Feel
mean
like her,
we're due for like a Sam Smith joint. There's
we're due for like another Her album.
yep.
Like we're due for
Oh, what's the skinny kid who was in he ended up being a Marvel.
ooh,
Uh he was in Internals at the end. He's a singing ass dude.
man, Eternal sucked. I don't know why we're
It
talking about that movie.
it got
I
canceled.
I try not to
Eternals 2
forget it.
got canceled, by the way. It was supposed to focus around him. Uh damn, he's a singing dude. I'll find his name. But he's due.
But there's a lot of people do, so it's gonna be hard. I don't think Justin Timberlake's made an album that is guaranteed for me to remember by December, right? Like I think I'll pick my songs off of it, play them. I don't know if we'll be in the running for that conversation because again, it's March, it's early, but it's not a bad album. I'm glad he went back because that Man in the Mountains bullshit.
Oh,
Fuck, he was doing
that shit was horrible.
it was garbage.
Harry Styles.
Oh yeah. Harry Styles,
Yeah,
Harry just won the Grammy. What was that last year?
two that'd be yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because
So
I mean that's one every two, and he's not making Eternals 2 anymore. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm sure they're gonna find a different role for Harry Styles because it's Harry fucking Styles, or I mean
they'll
a
figure it out.
different, you know, movie placement for his character. But it's still like one of those things where there's now the usual suspects who are up there. But I think JT has that name value because half of it's just name value. that'll
Yeah, of
put you in
course.
that category and just kind of propel you once you win a little bit. So I think him coming back with the album, I do. I really like the album.
I'm
Just
curious.
Drown is fucking fire. Like that's, but you are 100% right. Where it's just he has the benefit of really really good production and friendships.
Yes, dude.
So he has amazing writers that help him craft these songs. Timbo, the Neptunes, like the production of when he gets it and his friend network is incredible. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's hard to make bad music when your team around you is that good. But I don't
Yeah.
but I think he really genuinely likes R&B. I mean, the man sung Jodeci on Mickey Mouse Club when he was 12.
Well, yeah, well, like Ryan Gosling. Everybody's
Yeah,
seen that clip. Everybody's seen that clip, but not enough people has asked, like, why are these 12-year-olds singing Jodeci?
it's a very good
Right?
question.
Like, not enough
Three
people are
white
asking that
kids
question.
and one black kid singing Jodeci on Mickey Mouse Club. Real sexy like
Very bizarro world shit right there.
with that Nickelodeon shit nowadays. Like I still
Yeah,
haven't watched that documentary.
I gotta watch it too.
But there
I gotta
were
watch it.
adults in the room that somebody was like, you know what? You guys need to see Jodeci.
Yeah, sing Cry for You. Like,
Yeah,
what?
it's a bunch of 13-year-old girls.
Right.
Like,
Like, that's
okay,
wrong.
40-year-old man producing this. The fuck are you into?
Yeah, you're a nasty man.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's wild,
I think
wild
we have,
craziness.
I think bringing up Timberland leads me to this question because I think the conversation has to be had. Like, Dr. Dre got his thing on Walk of Fame and
Yep.
Snoop Dogg and everybody was there and I saw the
And
conversation.
50, Terrence
Yeah,
Crawford.
yeah, but it was there. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Um, we have this conversation about the greatest producers of all time, and they start talking about Dre again. Man, are we not talking about Timberland in this category enough? Like, I feel like when we talk about producers, when we talk about beat makers, when we talk about people who have like it's because of them artists have gone to another level. Yes, of course Dre did that. I'm not taking anything away from Dre. But I'm saying Aaliyah's second album, like while Back and Forth was great, the moment that people heard 4-page letter
Yeah.
and Are You That Somebody? And you go down the list of the Aaliyah songs post Timberland, that's when she became Aaliyah. Like Back and Forth was cool. That's when
Yeah.
she was with, the man who likes to bone little kids.
Yep.
But when the Timberland unity started, changed her life. Justin Timberlake's the same way.
Yeah.
Timberland came around, changed her life.
Because I didn't think Aaliyah was cool, rest her soul and everything. But I didn't
Oh,
think
be careful.
I don't think skill wise she was transformational at anything. But she had a great network of people building shit around her. Like no one can
Yeah.
say she was like the most talented actress or the
No.
best vocal singer ever. And like her choreography was dope, but as a dancer, as a standalone dancer, she was okay. I'm being very nice. So it's one of those things where it's really she was the face of a collective that was very talented behind her. That happened to feature Timbaland and Missy in predominant roles, but other people as well. Justin Timberlake's that same thing. It's like he's the face and he has the raw tools to be good enough that everyone behind him who's really fucking talented can push him to the moon.
So Timberland's career is like, I've always been big on the Basement, Devontae Swing, and Pharrell. Like the whole Virginia unit, Sister, when Missy came out of that, like Timberland has one of the most ridiculous catalogs of music ever. And I don't think anybody talks about how influential he has been to the culture of music. His style of the stuttering beats, the drum patterns that were ridiculous. Like, if it ain't for Timberland, it changed how music was listened to.
Yeah.
Like Timberland and Jay-Z, Lobster and Shrimp. Timberland, like you pair Timberland with everybody. Like you have to do really, really bad to break out a Timberland song.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Magoo. Magoo did his best
They
sometimes.
have some joints though. Yeah.
They did. Indian
Like,
flute and all them joints, like
oh,
they
they had
had
some
joints.
joints.
But it never mattered what Magoo said.
No, Bubba Sparks. Bubba
Ugly?
Tim gave Bubba the joint on Rough Riders Volume 3 with Bubba
Yeah,
Sparks and Jada. Oh my, Tim gave some people. I'm he gave some people joints.
that's what I'm saying. Like
He's like Primo, where you'd be like, Primo was just giving people joints. Like he
fire.
didn't care who you were. Tim gave Nelly Furtado
Yes,
some
yo,
shit back in the day.
Nelly Furtado was flying like a bird. I want to
Yo,
fly away. Then my favorite song that Nelly Furtado ever did was Showtime. It's a Timberland song on that. I was like, bruh, like what is this? Like
Timbo was
Timberland,
giving out joints back in the day.
he transforms artists' lives. Like they become different artists because of Timberland.
Yep.
We don't talk about him enough.
And it's because he does hip hop and R&B equally at a high level,
Yes,
which is tough. Like him and Neptunes are like the two that could really fuck around and do both.
it's
Maybe Mike Will made it a little bit. Like to be like recent, Mike Will made it's kind of had like a couple R&B joints, but not to their level. But like Neptunes and Timbo, their ability to go back and forth is something where Dr. Dre can't even touch.
it's
Because Dre
crazy.
Dre doesn't have that R&B catalog at all to match those two. But Timbo, even more than Neptune, it's just so much quality. What's the fucking his song with One Republic?
Oh,
Uh,
apologize.
oh, like that
Yeah,
shit's
stupid.
crazy.
Made every black person in the hood go, "Who's One Republic?"
Republic,
I didn't go
like
buy that album.
that's it. Like it was just he could take anyone and just like, yo, this is so good. And Pharrell's the same way, where Pharrell just produces the NERD albums and just how much rock influence and funk influence. Like it's fucking crazy. They'd listen to NERD album and you'd be like, Pharrell, Hugo, like they do this thing, like they do everything.
It's
Um, Dre's a great producer and he's been a pioneer on so many levels. I get it. Overall, every day of the week I take Timbo over Dre. Neptunes, I probably take over Dre too. But Dre's highs are so high and he's so great and influential what he does. I get it. And then the whole Beats by Dre, the whole he's a different level of being, but it's straight production. I always preferred Timbo over Dre.
I mean, look, man, it's hard to argue like Dre's influence over the industry is undeniable, but I think Timberland doesn't get the credit. Like we were just talking about Nelly Furtado, Promiscuous, massive song, right? You mentioned Apologize. You think back to Genuine Pony, the first time you hear blah, blah, blah. You're like, holy, what is this?
Oh
What
my
is
god.
this? So Anxious. Like you run down the list,
Oh,
Final
So
Warning.
Anxious was so great. Oh,
You go down to like Drunken Love was a Timberland beat. You go down to Suit and Tie, Justin Timberlake, which was a banger. I don't care what anybody says.
I mean,
Big Pimpin', Big Pimpin' like fucked everything up.
yeah.
Like when Big Pimpin' first came out, people were like, what is this? Dirt Off Your Soul is not one of my favorite Timberland beats, but it was a huge song.
It was just a well-made song, but that shit, like the Jay-Z documentary for putting together the Black album, that's one of my
Yeah.
favorite things with Timbo just
Oh
playing
yeah, yeah.
all the joints. And he played Jay-Z Blueberry Yum Yum that he ended up passing on, gave it to Luda. That shit's crazy.
I mean, you just go on this list like Hot Boys or Icebox for Omarion. Like
Oh my
I'm just like, there's so much here that Timberland has done.
yeah, the
Say
whole Aaliyah,
something,
yeah,
roll out for Ludacris. Like this man, his catalog is stupid.
still
So
going.
when I hear Technicolor on this album, I go, oh, this is Timbo in his bag. I can see Timbo in that roll in the back of his neck, just moving,
Yeah,
just moving.
yeah, yeah.
Because when this dude gets to cooking, I just
Oh
don't know. I don't know like where he falls in the pantheon of like great hip hop producers because it feels like the conversation is always Primo, Dilla, fair enough in hip hop, but overall producers, Timbaland and the Neptunes fall into a category all their own.
yeah,
Like
they're
what they
so
have
versatile.
done, and Pharrell will say it like that. Timbaland opened the door for us. Like Timbaland's like Devontae Swing opened the door for Timbaland, and you see what he did. Static Major and all those guys came busting through that door.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's another producer that's been more influential to the sound of radio and music than Timbaland.
I mean, without Timbo, I'm going to assume there's really no true platform for Static Major. I'm not sure there's a huge platform for Ninth, just off of geographically. No one else is coming from over
It's yeah.
like that entire area, like that Virginia, just DMV. I don't know who else comes from that area if Timbo doesn't just blow the
There,
doors off that shit.
there's no Missy without Timbaland.
Yeah.
There's like legitimately. Like I can't stand the rain. Like there's no Missy without Timbaland. There is no like
We didn't
it's
even name all Missy's hits with Timbo. We
get
just
your
kind of
freak
just,
on.
oh,
Like you just
One
run
Minute
down the
Man was
list.
fucking crazy.
Oh God. Like again, like as underground of a head as I've been, I recognize talent. And Timbaland doesn't do it like there's nobody that does it like Timbaland.
Yeah.
Nobody. First time I heard Cry Me a River for Justin Timberlake. Stop. This is happening?
Yeah.
Just
Me?
just nasty. And there's people who try to emulate. Like just like there's a lot of people like Alchemist has said this before in an interview. He was like, "Man, I spent the first like 5 years of my career trying to be like DJ Premier until I figured out how to not be DJ Premier." I feel like there's been so many people who just gave up trying to be like Timberland. Like the first time anybody heard "Are You That Somebody" from Aaliyah, everybody tried to do those offbeat ass beats, and nobody could do it. This motherfucker had a crying baby in the beat,
Yeah. He just be
right?
making sounds up,
Like, and he just throws them in there. There's a song,
be
Tim's
beatboxing half of the shit by himself.
like Tim's Bio is a very underrated Timberland album, very underrated. And there's a song on there with Nas and Mads and Skills, For My. It's one of my favorite songs that Timberland's ever done.
Like the recap skills.
Yes,
Oh,
it's Nas and Skills and Timberland, who, for whatever reason, he always feels like he has to jump in and try to ruin a song.
yeah.
But if you find Tim's Bio on, I think it's streaming still, but that song For My would it's Nas over a Timberland beat, and it's pianos. It's nasty, and I'm just like, dude, this guy, he can't do no wrong. He can't. He can't do no wrong. Timberland does not fail us.
Oh yeah, this shit's on Apple. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
It
listen to
wasn't
it.
on there for a while. I had to go buy the CD because I was like, I can't
To
find this shit
My.
nowhere.
It is track 3.
Tumai, yes.
To My.
Tumai's on there. Birthday with
Lobster
Players on
Scrim.
there. Yes. That out, but like go to Tumai and one, Nas is filthy on it, but then Skills shows his ass as well. Like those two getting greasy over Timberland beat.
Oh,
Jesus.
Put 'em On with Static Major.
Yes.
It's on this Fat Rabbit. It's also on the
Yes.
Ludacris album.
Like that
Crazy.
album is one of the best Timberland projects that nobody talks about.
Birthday featuring Playa.
Yeah. Oh, I love that fucking song. I was a big Player dude. I
Yeah.
love Player. I love Player. I love Static Major. I thought, yeah, that song, Timberland's
Yeah, we got a
that guy.
Twister track.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, yeah. Listen to that.
Who
Just
am
listen to that
I?
album.
Just yeah,
Woo!
I'm gonna listen to this album. All
It's
right.
incredible.
Yeah, nah, it's wild that you made me think before we wrap up the show of fucking Ryder who got tasked to go to the Detroit game
Oh man.
and cover Dilla Day. He was like, I've never listened to Jay Dilla before today.
So I've
It's like,
never even heard of him
never. It's like, excuse me?
in Detroit.
Why are you volunteering this information?
Who assigned you this story?
Oh my God. And then an excerpt from the story is like, he gets buried by other Detroit legends like Eminem and Dr. Dre. What is going on here?
People are losing, Kel, people are losing their jobs in media, right? In
Yes,
journalism, in
left and
music
right,
journalism.
left and
We're
right.
sticking these people in there to tell the stories of hip hop. Like, because the story, I know it's
To be fair, he's a sports journalist. He went to cover it as an
I
assignment
don't give a fuck. Because
at a basketball game.
the Detroit Pistons released a Jay Dilla capsule. I almost bought the damn hoodie, but it was like $140. And I was like, I really don't need this right now because I have a bunch of Jay Dilla stuff as it is. But they released a capsule and it's dope. Like the best stuff is you can only buy at Pistons games. So it's
Yeah.
a Dilla and Detroit Pistons collaboration. Royce 5'9" like spearheading it as well.
He was at the game last week
Yeah.
promoting it.
So you got to tell that story, but If you can't assign somebody that understands the significance of this, what are we doing? Because
Somebody.
this is the heart and soul of Detroit hip hop. Dilla, one of, if not the greatest producer that ever lived in terms of redefining samples and how they sound. Anybody who's ever worked with Dilla or has talked about Dilla knows why Dilla is considered the greatest ever.
Yep.
And you got somebody that doesn't even know where Dr. Dre's from doing this story?
Yeah. That's like telling me to do some shit about Graceland. Like, like I get it. I've heard
Yeah.
of it. I at least heard of it. Like, cool. I can whip up something, but I better have an editor that knows a little something more than me. And I damn sure ain't going to just out myself when people are like, who is this guy? You're like, I learned about Dilla yesterday. What? You're not
Yeah.
helping your case on
No.
this article. There's not one. Always go back. There's not enough of us in these rooms.
Yeah. There's no way that would have crossed that copy would have crossed my desk. That shit would have been
As
thrown
an
in his
editor,
face.
just
Oh. Because it would have been like a big WTF in red marker. Like, what the fuck? And I would have thrown it back.
you would have
I,
printed it out,
yeah.
physical copy, red
Yeah.
mark that shit and throw it.
Because there ain't no way you writing that story and not know what you're talking about. You're not going to disrespect the legends. But that's why you need black editors.
But
That's why you need black people to get it.
even whoever pitched that or a black person in the room, like, yo, you don't know Dilla, cool. I've given people notes on shit. You don't know about this? Like, I don't gotta write. Yo, come here, sit down. It's a 10-minute, 15-minute meeting. Here's some notes. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. This is what he done. This is the catalog. Go to Apple Music. They got a best of J Dilla, blah, blah. These are the okay, Detroit, other Detroit legends, blah, blah, blah. Here it is. Boom. Here's some notes. Now go write. What? Nobody helped this poor guy. they're, they're just like, yo, here's your assignment, sink or swim.
Yeah, hang you out to dry.
That's it. Because I know there's rap, hip hop fans who don't know who J Dilla is. Right? He's not Dr. Dre.
No.
And it's okay if you're not even a hip hop guy, or maybe I don't know how old this dude is, but maybe you grew up in the Soldier Boy era of shit and like you like rap music, but it's like you like Nelly, maybe some Ludacris. You heard, I don't fucking know. You heard Twista on Overnight Celebrity. Like you get maybe that's as spicy as you really gotten with some hip hop names. Like, but if you don't know who Dilla is, like, cool. Somebody around got to know who Dilla is because you are in Detroit.
Yeah.
A stone's throw in either direction could have found you. You could stand up in the bullpen. I don't know if they have a bullpen. You can throw this shit into Slack and be like, anybody know who J Dilla is? Anyone? Somebody gonna answer.
They gotta fix that. That was embarrassing. that was some really embarrassing shit from a journalistic level. To I'm not assigning a writer who doesn't do the research on their subject, and as an editor, I can't let that Dr. Dre note being from Detroit slip by me. That
No,
there were so many fails on so many levels. Like the whole publication should be burnt to the ground.
you just gotta fact check that as an editor, right?
That's
Like
very
just,
easy.
like just where's Dr. Dre from? Google.
Right. Like you ain't gonna fuck it up with Madonna, so don't do it to Dylan.
Fact. And to be fair, I don't even fucking know where Madonna is from.
But you'd find out though before
I'd
you wrote
find
something
out.
like that.
Yeah.
Damn
Like
it.
as soon as I didn't know, I'd probably Google this to
That's
see where the fuck she's from. Because I'd be like, you know what? I don't even know where she was born. So that's something that would jump to my mind. Before I let you go out of here, just in the spirit of all the hip hop stuff, everything around, and people trying new things. I don't have an opinion on this because I don't want to get chased off the interwebs. But do you think Beyonce pulls off this country album,
yes.
Cowboy Carter?
Yes. Yes.
You're a bigger Beyonce fan than me, so
It has nothing to do with being a Beyonce fan. Her fans ain't gonna let her down. Like
that
what
doesn't mean the music's good, Dre.
I don't think Beyonce. All right, just to go back, maybe a decade ago,
Yeah,
I interviewed Questlove, and it's one of my. I still have the tape somewhere, and it ended up being like this hour and a half conversation just about music. Right, I only use like 15 minutes for my story, and the rest of it was just talking about music. And we get to this part. This is pre Jay-Z Beyonce. This is like they're dating. This is how early this is. Quest says this very interesting note to me. He says, He's like, I don't think you understand how talented Beyonce is. And I was like, well, we know we can sing. He's like, no, no, it's not that. It's that she absorbs music. Like Beyonce can name like songs off of Ella Fitzgerald's albums. Like Beyonce studies music and knows what makes an artist great and a genre great. This is over a decade ago. The way he spoke about her being a student, because Questlove was like the ultimate student of music, right? He spoke that highly of Beyonce, and now we're at this point where Beyonce's making a country album. She ain't gonna fuck this up. There ain't no way. She's not gonna employ people that will allow her to fuck this up. If
That's
she
the key.
wanted to,
That's
she
the key.
couldn't fuck it up. And her fans, damn sure, even if it's fucked up, ain't gonna admit it's gonna be fucked up. This is
No,
gonna be the
they're
country
gonna
album
love
of the
that
year,
shit.
no matter what. Like they ain't gonna stop this shit. This train is coming. I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan,
No,
but I
that
know this.
quasi country single she released was not good, but that shit was everywhere.
But you know, it's music subjective, and
Yeah.
people loved it. So this album, this Coach Carter, I mean Coach Carter, but
Coach Carter.
this album will absolutely be Beyonce not cosplaying as a country artist. It'll feel like a country album. Like
She looks like Cody Rhodes on the cover of that shit.
she does, and people's like, why she got an American flag? You got to understand what a rodeo queen is. People like, chill out. You got to
Yeah,
understand what
I
she's
don't
doing.
understand the culture. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
there's a
she's very Texas, so she's not co-opting something like that. Shit was
no.
down the block for her. So
She's not cosplaying, man. Like she's actually going to do this and put the Beyonce spin on it. And there are going to be some country singers that fucking hate it. And I can't wait. I can't
oh,
wait.
half of Texas, more than half, if you base this on the voting of that state, is going
Yeah.
to hate this shit.
Yeah. Good thing is coming out before Trump gets reelected.
Watch him try to take one of those songs for the campaign trail.
Oh boy.
On some like
Yuck.
women love this shit. Like he's black people love sneakers.
Yeah.
Like let's
Gross.
release these sneakers. You're like,
It's
what?
disgusting.
Women love Beyonce. That's how we get black women voters. Just
Ugh.
take Beyonce joint. Oh my God. He's gonna pay Beyonce as the patriot. Look at her flying our flag.
Yep.
Oh, that is gonna be atrocious, man. But no, it's great to have you back. If you guys haven't checked out our boxing episode, please go and do that. Support your fellow Patreon people and check out the Corner Club episode for the month of March. We chopped it up on there, talking a ton of pro wrestling, but a little MMA and boxing as well on there. Fun conversations. Producer Cole Bebe was on that one with us too. So that was super, super fun this past week. Next week, we're going to have a full slate of shows. So we'll be back 4 shows next week. Special Patreon one, everything. We're back in the mix. We appreciate you guys, as always, for supporting us. Spread the word. Tell people what the hell they're missing on Patreon. Tell them what they're getting with this. We appreciate you all. Until next time, we're out.
Peace.